Hello, social media friends and family. This is Beata Seweryn-Reid, and it's Tuesday, meaningful conversation. And as every Tuesday, I'm bringing to you amazing people, amazing person. I call them change makers because they are living for changing other people's life based on their own experience, the meaningful life that I hope you have or you can create with us. The main cause for me to create that show was to raise awareness, inspire transformation, and encourage you to make a positive change, because positive change is possible when you are engaged. If you want to know more about me, you can go to my website, and it's beatalifecoaching.com. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But right now, I want to introduce you to this very special friend that I had the pleasure to meet through Les Brown, because we were together in his training. She's an amazing coach, amazing speaker, accountability coach. And her background is in social work and psychology. How important these days is that? Oh my goodness, we have expert right there, right here, live. Come on, be ready. Her name is Andrea Mason. Andrea Mason. And today we will be talking about accountability. Why is being accountable important? And before I ask her that question, Andrea, welcome to the show. I'm really honored to have you. I love you, girl. I love what you do, how you inspire the world to, in a positive way, how you embrace people's lives. So if there is anything that I didn't mention about you and you believe is important for our audience to know, please, this is your stage.
Yes, Miss Beata, it's a pleasure and honor to share the same platform once again with you, my dear. And yes, I am a personal accountability coach, certified professional organizer, small business entrepreneur, and I'm ready and willing to begin this show. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Well, so yeah, let's. A lot of our audience, they are entrepreneurs, especially young stages entrepreneurs. So I'm very curious. What was your journey? How did you become coach? How did you decide that accountability coaching is what you want to help people with?
Great question. So I was born in an underdeveloped country of Colombia, South America. And it was during a war-torn drug zone era. And my parents made the ultimate sacrifice to put me up for adoption. And I was welcomed with open arms into the promised land of America. And it was at that moment, some years later, that I wanted to give back to community. I wanted to enhance humanity. And I followed my heart. And my parents always said, do what you love, do it right, and do it with passion. So I pursued the career path of social work and psychology, medical, holistic, and wellness fields to enhance motivation, to empower others to be accountable and responsible for what they do in front of the stage and behind the scenes, always acting with integrity.
My gosh, I have goosebumps. How powerful and welcome. I'm immigrant as well, kind of. Yeah, I'm for sure. You were adopted in different way. I was adopted much years later, kind of. I adopted myself to this country. Well, thank you so much for what you are sharing. So, tell me what in your experience and what is definition of accountability for you?
Absolutely. Accountability is so important that it is making sure that you are following what you say, following your steps, the path that you create. We all have stories in life, and it's our responsibility to hold the pen in our hand and create our story, not live through our ancestors or family or parents. That we should have a clear vision of passion and pursue our dream. And one of the pieces that's important to that is not letting our past chase us. We must face our past, become accountable, forgive us for our mistakes, and fail forward.
I love it. Failing forward. I love it. There is a book, John Maxwell. Yeah, Failing Forward. I love it. And follow the definition of yours is follow your steps. Exactly. But I'm wondering, why is it so important to be accountable, especially for entrepreneurs and business leaders?
Absolutely. It is important to be accountable because you are the hub, you are the asset of your business, and you are the entrepreneur walking into progression and succession. And you need to be accountable for every action, decision, choice, and path that you take. Because if you're not accountable to yourself, then you're not putting your best foot forward to provide a service, product, or method to an individual who can benefit from your tasks, your creations. And being accountable is holding you responsible. It's keeping you in alignment with direction and moving forward, as well as making sure you're constantly leveling up your game and being the best version of the day before to achieve those milestones and goals.
Leveling up your game. I love it. And well, it's kind of, I mean, no, it's not easy at all to be accountable, to stay accountable, even if we have bosses, even if we have some kind of partner, accountability body, it's what they call sometimes. Even with that, it's very hard. So what the single entrepreneur like you and me, that we became our own bosses, and it's so easy to slip. It's like, okay, especially when there is something challenging, then when we have our to-do list so big, and sometimes we are humans, we have headaches, we don't feel amazing. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it. No, okay, I will do it tomorrow. So how do you guide your people to stop self-sabotaging themselves and keep themselves self-accountable?
Absolutely. It's a great question. So I work with individuals and I guide them through the power of healing power of forgiveness. When we put our responsibilities on someone else, we're more likely to achieve them. We don't want to set them up for failure. We don't want to disappoint them. But when we forgive ourselves for the incidences, the occurrences, and ourselves for giving somebody permission to have power over us, once we have self-awareness and self-confidence, we are accountable to ourselves. We want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward. We want to make sure that we are in alignment, that if we put our mind to something, that we could accomplish anything. And, we always have that, inner conversation. Like you said, I'm too tired. And, excuses sound best to those who create them. And we have to tackle out that noise and quiet that noise and say, no, I am on a mission. I'm on a calling. I have a purpose to serve, a problem to solve. And somebody's suffering if I'm not there to help them. Somebody's going to be at a disadvantage or a loss if I don't follow through with what I'm told. And being accountable, yes, it is a lonely path. And it's also that of a lot of strength, a lot of heartache. But it's all through the growing process, and it can be achieved when we have self-awareness and self-discipline.
Self-awareness, self-discipline. I love it. Follow your steps. I'm gonna just repeat what she just said. Everyone who is listening at this time, please type in a chat box, follow your steps. Absolutely. And then self-awareness and self-discipline, two very important skills. And I believe personally, with working with people around, discipline and accountability, it's number one, almost, one of the highest challenges for people. And Tanya is with us. Hello, Tanya. Hi, ladies. Hi. We have
Hello, everyone.
Yes, we have a couple listeners, Garlene, and she has a question. I'm gonna go to her question in a second.
Absolutely.
I don't know Arasu. Maybe it's
It might
someone
be, somebody I know. Yes.
Yes, so thank you so much for joining us. Tell us, where are you from? But going back to what I was just saying, like in my personal experience and with my customers or clients, accountability is extremely challenging.
Absolutely.
Because it's so easy to just think, well, I will do it tomorrow. So thank you for reminding us about self-awareness and self-discipline. And I'm wondering, what is your experience or your belief, your opinion about how accountability and motivation goes together? Is it they go head and head, or is there any difference?
They go hand in hand, but 9 times out of 10, it's kind of a constant battle. You want to do things right, but that motivation is not there. You need that spark of ignited flame to get you energized. What gets you up every morning? What gets your passion and blood racing, saying, you know what? I'm here today to make somebody's life change. I'm here to make someone smile, even if if it doesn't affect them, at least for a few moments. I'm here to let somebody know that they're not alone. And accountability and motivation go hand in hand, because the higher your energy level is with motivation, the more accountable you are, and the more, we're our best competitors as well as our best critics. So if we get our energy level up high and we're saying, oh, this is what I want to do, I'm going to do this today, you are holding yourself accountable, and you have to make sure you're balanced between motivation and accountability. Absolutely.
I believe that motivation is our why, our big why, the desire, the burning desire that we have in us, and the accountability is the ways of how we found how to make it possible. So that is beautiful. But you mentioned something important before: forgiveness. And I was like, whoa, I never thought about that this way, that forgiveness and accountability has anything to do with each other. But it's so true, because today, if I don't follow up with whatever I mean, all points that were planned. So what is the best way to forgive ourselves for really wanted to finish our to-do list for today or whatever project, but sometimes life is in the way. We have live interruptions every freaking day, and we are not just able to follow through. So what you do, what the forgiveness role is in here?
Absolutely. So I was just having this conversation a few days ago. We always have that reflection in the mirror of somebody when we make a mistake. Do we see our parents? Do we see our coach? Do we see our boss? And then we look at ourselves and we kind of cower and put our head down like, oh my goodness, I didn't accomplish this. I have 10 things on my list and I only got to 2. And what I've learned through the healing power of forgiveness is like, you know what? You've gotten 2. 2 is better than none. Always celebrate the small steps. It doesn't, a tree doesn't grow overnight. The world wasn't made in a week. And it's the small steps that we celebrate, that we look forward to, saying, you know what, I did 2 today. Tomorrow I'm going to shoot for 3. Because we look at the big picture all the time and we say it's impossible. It's overwhelming. How am I going to get all this done by this deadline? Dreams don't have a deadline. They have an amazing destinational journey, and you embrace the journey. And when you follow your heart and not the herd, you learn to forgive yourself and not be on the masses. You say, you know what? This is a small achievement that I have achieved. I pat myself on the back and I say, what can we go after next? And that's, Beata, where the motivation comes. Your why. What can I do better? How can I improve myself to enhance the quality of life of another?
Beautiful. I can listen to you forever. And I love when that you mentioned the celebration because especially for solopreneurs, it's so difficult and hard to celebrate anything. We are like bombarded with stuff that we have to do. And then it's like, okay, should I celebrate? Oh no, I have to move on to
Yes.
another task. So we skip the celebration steps because we are sometimes overwhelmed with what we have to believe have to do. But the forgiveness piece is and celebration so important. I love what you said, small steps. Take small steps because I believe at least the small steps make big difference and
Absolutely.
takes you on a journey of your towards your dreams. The other thing that I have to highlight, you said dreams don't have a deadline. How powerful! Dreams don't have a deadline, people. Wake up today. Doesn't matter where you are, how old you are, you can still start today your journey toward your dreams. Stay accountable. That is what we are talking today about. And okay, so what are the benefits of staying or and being accountable? Some maybe tangible that you see with your clients that or you talk to them, say, hey, if you stay accountable, you do this and that, then this is the benefit what you're gonna achieve.
Absolutely. Accountability is key in everything you do because you have now are pouring the foundation of a person of integrity, a person who shows up, a person who's going to do what they say what they mean behind closed doors and on front stage. They're the ones that are going to be successful because they know that they have a mission and a calling in their life to be successful and to help someone. You know, we aren't here by accident. And like Mr. Brown says, you know, God has an amazing way of being anonymous. And
Mm.
within the past 6 months, if not now, we're going on probably 8 months of this journey that I'm in with you as well. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. And just to step back, be patient and breathe and say, you know what? Look where I was. Look where I am now. I can only imagine where I'm going next. And that's what we have to do. We have to always remember where we've been because those are our people that we're guiding. Those are our people that we're helping because we were there at one point. And that's what we have to remember. As integrity and accountable, you have to remember where you've been to know where you are to get you where you're going. Because if you just go forward and just be at the top and celebrate, you miss the most important piece of the journey, which is finding your champion within and being accountable for yourself and looking at all the rewards and influence and impact on others.
Amen. Preach. Yes, integrity. I love that word, and I think we just don't think about the power of integrity enough. But yeah, we are busy entrepreneurs, so it's always good to be reminded. There was something else you just said that I wanted to highlight. Well, maybe I will remember in a second. In the meantime, we have Pele joining us and loving this. Thank you, Pele. And we have my friend, darling Garlene, which she has a question to you.
Okay.
Andrea, does accountability count in progress? And if yes, it's really important to point out that the only flow is procrastination with many successful souls. So, how do you guide those who are lazy enough to move?
You know what? One of my mentors said this, do it now, procrastinate later. And I loved that quote he said. It was very powerful because you know what? We have so much energy to tell others what to do, how to do it, when to do it, why to do it. And if we just shift that energy and kind of turn the mirror to ourselves and empower ourselves, that's when the laziness is going to be a bad pill, jagged pill to swallow. And then you say, well, what have I done? what have I done in today? What have I really gotten accomplished? And although it's so easy, believe me, I was there. It's so easy to come home from work, put on comfy clothes and hit that couch and put on the tube. And now it's everything's instant gratification. And just a matter of time, think about how much time you're putting elsewhere where you're not being productive, you're being busy, and then just shift gears, change your channel, and put that introvertedly into yourself and say, well, if I've done this, then you know what? I can do well with it. It's just like money. Money is not a bad thing. It's what you do with money that determines how it's going to be used. Same thing with our mind, same thing with our mentality and our body. It's how you use the vehicle to get you from one place to another. And if you're constantly comparing yourself to others, could have, should have, would have, must have, didn't, I wish, that's negative energy that you're just feeding into the lazy mode. Well, you know what? It's harder to do that. Oh, it's work. It's hard work. Nothing's done without hard work. And if you put the work in, and Beata knows this as well, patience is a virtue, but in due time, it will reward itself in the end.
Amen. Again. And Garlene is saying, thanks a lot, Andrea. Thank you, Garlene, for your question. I love when people ask live questions, because how often do we have Andrea on that live show?
Right.
Andrea, thank you so much for sharing. The next question is, oh, I remember what I was trying to highlight before. So you mentioned mirror, and it brings me back to what I do with my coaching clients as well. You said, look at your past, but don't stay there.
Right.
Look into your future. Look where you were, where you are now, and where you want to go. And I always, when I think about the past, I used to look back for so long, and basically I was living there. And when you live in the past, not in the present doesn't exist then, and you don't even want to think about future. You're so miserable. Like, I was like, come on, how could you be there? But it's life. And I always not compare, but it's like a metaphor for me. The past is like driving a car and looking at the back mirror, on the side mirrors, and it's so beautiful because you look where you were, you know where you are now, but you still have this destination, the journey ahead. And I love it. I often have to remind myself, like, look at the mirror, you were there, how far, and you mentioned that, look how far you got and what is ahead.
And it's so hard. It's so hard. I mean, I'm not saying this is easy. It's definitely not. But at the same token, those who look at the past, like you said, stay in the past, but then you kind of question why the same behaviors, same situations occurring. And what the most amazing lesson I've learned on this experience, this journey, you always have an option to change it. Every single second, you have a choice to go left or to go right. And if you go right and you keep going in that circle of that hamster wheel, try going left, see what happens. And another mentor of mine said, what's the worst case scenario? You're still here. You're not hurting anyone. Try it. And that's what we do. Like Mr. Brown says, you take risks. Everybody hits and aims small, and you're not taking the big shots. And that's what we need to do, because it's so hard. And I remember this like it was yesterday. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do if I have my own business? I don't know about you, Beata, but I keep saying, what if I could do this? Wait, I'm the boss. Of course I could do it. But you still want to kind of have that checked with yourself.
Right.
But it's just changing your channel, like a radio station. You can listen. If you want to cry, you could put on a certain station and just melt in the music. You get excited, you throw on a different station. And that's what people forget. People are stuck, and it's so hard with the external influences and people, and just trust me. Just once, every second of your life, make a choice. Try going the opposite way and see what happens. You'll be amazed.
You mentioned being stuck, and it's so important because not only entrepreneurs, we are all, the whole humanity, sometimes we feel stuck. Some people stay stuck the entire life, which
Yep.
is tragedy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I lost so many years in being stuck in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, when I think today about that, it's like I wasted so much time. But then I have to be observer, because so I learned it not that I became, so wise in one day, that
Awareness.
I have to celebrate what,
Mm-hmm.
even this time when I felt stuck, and that I was able to overcome it. So that, just quickly, what do you think that why people get stuck? What is the biggest challenge that people feel stuck? Because it's a feeling, it's not, yeah, like I'm stuck in this room. It's not true. I have a doors, I have a window, I can get out, but I might just feel, no, I cannot. Yes, it's all what it is. So what is your advice for people that, so first of all, what people keeps people stuck, and second, how they can get out?
Absolutely. And this is what I've mastered: forgiveness. Some inner voice in their life has says you can't do it. You're not ready. You're not experienced. You know what? I tried it and I failed. I don't want you to go through that pain. So whatever that root cause, that inner voice, that inner emotion that you have been carrying for so long, that is what is causing the stuck. Because I remember that. I was like, why can't I move forward? I can help everybody else move forward, but I'll be darned if I can. And then went through the awareness, discipline. I was just like, I got to the root cause. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the message of this person in my life. They have put the label, that stamp of approval. You know what? This is as far as you're going to go because this is what society says. Your credentials meet you to this far. Your experience, your knowledge, your background, what have you, they stopped you there. And until we learn awareness and forgiveness and say, you know what, that's your opinion. And Mr. Brown says, your opinion don't let other people's opinion define you. And when we overcome that obstacle, oh my gosh, sky's the limit. And as far as approval, of course we're going to always look for approval. Of course. That's what we were trained when we were kids. Our parents were our first coaches. Our parents were our first teachers. Mom, can I go here? Dad, can I try this? And it takes a long time to deprogram that mindset that you need approval. I mean, I still know people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, kind of like, I just want to check with my mom. Got to break that cycle, because one of the key points that I'm learning even today, you're not working in my shoes. You're not walking my life every day. No disrespect, but I have to make the decisions. I have to be comfortable and confident in my own skin to say, you know what? I'm going to do this. And if I fail, there may be another way, or there may be something else I need to do.
I love it. Wow, there's so much wisdom.
Thank you.
You are not walking in my shoes. Break that cycle. I love it. There's so many adults, and we are all attached to our parents or someone else searching for approvals. And Maya Joshi said, sometimes we need approval. Maya, I'm not sure what do you mean if you are talking about your own approval or someone else? Thank you for sharing that. But I believe that our own approval is the most important.
Absolutely.
And thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, Maya. And yes, so nobody else is walking in your shoes. So break that cycle. Yes, we are programmed from the day we are born, how to behave, what we are good at and what we are not. And so here comes what you mentioned, self-awareness, because only when we get self-aware and forgive for what we had no power over when we were kids or even teenagers, then we can take responsibility for where we are and what we're gonna do with the life that we have to move it on. And root cause. This is the other point that we always have to go to the root cause of what is stopping us, what is keeping us stuck. We are not really stuck. You are not stuck. No one keeps you, in prison. The only prison is here, the mindset and the stories that we are telling ourselves. What else? You said so many brilliant sentences that I'm trying to. You have you have options. If you feel stuck, yes, you have options. If you feel stuck, change your direction. Holy cow! I think it's the best thing that we can end that show with. If there is anything else that you want to share or add, some quick advice for our audience about accountability or anything that could help them to improve their lives, their businesses, please, the stage is yours.
Absolutely. Thank you. Look, we are living in times of uncertain and unknown. And many times we are seeking approval for those who, a lot of our parents and the guardians out there, they kind of encourage their kids to live their dreams. And when they're not living their dreams, sit with your children, sit with your spouse, sit with your family and say, you know what? This is the vision I have for myself. This is the path that I want to choose. This is my passion, my interest, my skill set. And I welcome you to join me in the journey. However, I will accept and, acknowledge that you may not be on this journey. But always know it is important, please, to follow your heart and not the herd. Like I say, the herd will get you hurt. Because when you work with your heart and passion and mind combined, when they are in alignment, on the other side is success and happiness. So always remember, you hold the pen to your story. Nobody's co-signing, nobody's, doing a biography. You write your story. Make it count every single day and learn and lead a life that you love, not a life that you survive.
Wow. Thank you so much, Andrea, for your beautiful, deep, powerful words.
Thank you.
I hope you can come back in some time and we will have another beautiful, meaningful conversation. Right now, if you can share with our audience, what is the best way to connect with you, to get to know you more? Maybe they need some advice from you or you can help them in some other ways.
Absolutely. Andrea Mason on all social media platforms and my website, andreamasons.com.
And I can bring your website right here. It's andreamasons.com. And again, she says, follow her on all social medias. You will see, like, oh my goodness, she posts on Facebook, because I'm mostly on Facebook, a lot of beautiful, empowering videos that can lift you up daily. So please definitely connect with Andrea. And I have just Maya said, you are speaking right to my heart. Thank you. And I want also say thank you for speaking to our hearts today. It's not only about business. All what you said, we can implement it in life every single day. You hold the pen to your story. Make it count. It's what stuck to me, and I want to end it with these words. Make it count.
Absolutely.
You are the author of your own story. Thank you so very much, Andrea. I really, again, hope that you will be here again. And to our audience, Maya and Pele and Garlene, everyone who is watching, who will watch on the replay, please share that video with your friends and family, because you never know who might need to hear that inspiring message today. That is very important to share. Don't keep it for yourself. And for everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please let me know what is the other way that I can support you, who else you want me to bring to that show. But for now, thank you everyone for being here every week at noon, Tuesday, Meaningful Conversations. And I will do my best to bring another inspiring speakers like Andrea today. Andrea, it was really honored to have you on my show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear. Keep up the great work.
You too. Thank
All right.
you.
Take care.